Good morning, children. This is Module 4, National Income and its related aggregates. Well, children, you need to acquaint yourself with what exactly is national income. In your junior classes also, you read about national income and we often use the word GDP. So for a layman, GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, they all can be used synonymously. But for students of economics, we need to be very precise with the concept of national income, which is nothing but NNP at FC. Now, when we talk about FC, we are referring to factor income. So how do we define national income? National income is the sum total of the factor incomes which is earned by the normal residents of a country during one accounting year. So now two things are very important. That is what is meant by factor incomes and who are considered as the normal residents of a country. Factor incomes are the payments received by the four factors of production, for they have all made a valuable contribution to the production process. Now the question is, who are the owners or the suppliers of the factor services? The households are the owners or the suppliers of the factor services. And who hires the four factors of production? The business firms hire the four factors of production. Now, factor payments flow from the business firms to the households because the business firms, they have utilized the factor services and they are bound to make a payment to the household or to the owners of the factors of production. Now, another question arises is, what are the components of domestic factor income? Now, domestic factor incomes, they are classified as compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income. Now coming to the first component, what is meant by compensation of employees? Compensation of employees means the labor class. Now how are they going to be compensated? For they have all made a valuable contribution to the production process. So they receive wages and salaries. Now the second component is operating surplus, which comprises of rent, interest, and profit. Now when we talk about rent, rent is the reward which is given to the landlord for the use of land. Now, interest is the reward for capital and profit is the reward for entrepreneurial skills. Now, when we talk about national income, we include only these factor incomes or factor payments which are received by the owners of the factors of production. National income includes only factor income. So we make a distinction between factor income and transfer income. We've already discussed in detail as to what is factor income. Now moving on to transfer income. Transfer income is that income which does not add to the current flow of goods and services. It is not connected with any productive activity. It is basically unearned income and there is no value addition. Now when we talk about unearned income means they are unilateral payments. They do not reflect any productive activity. Now examples of transfer income are scholarships, old age pensions, unemployment allowance, gifts, donations and grants which are given from rest of the world to the domestic territory or which flow from the central government to the state government, or they are compensation which is given to the accident victims. Now, transfer payments are not included in the estimation of national income as they are all unearned income. As stated earlier, national income is the factor incomes generated by the normal residents of a country. Now, who are the normal residents? Normal residents are the people who ordinarily reside in a country for a period of more than 1 year. Now, these persons may or may not be the citizen of that country. Secondly, a person is considered as a normal resident when he is said to have his economic interest in a country, when he carries out all his production activities such as production, consumption or investment in that country. National income includes the income of only the normal residents of a country. It does not include the income of the non-residents, even when they happen to be the citizens of our country. National income is only the income generated by the normal residents of a country and not by the non-residents, even though this happen to be the citizens of a country. The normal residents of India, they include the Indians who are working in the foreign embassies which are located in India, The people who are employed in the World Health Organization, which has its office in India, the local people who are working in the office of the IMF located in India, and it also includes the ambassador for India who is employed in rest of the world. But when we talk about the NRIs, we talk about the foreigners who are working in Indian embassies but which are located in the foreign countries. The foreigners who are working in the WHO, which is located in India, the German or the foreigner who is working as the director of IMF, which is located in India. And we talk about the ambassador, which is in India, posted in India from rest of the world. Now, it also includes the foreign technical experts who are working in India for a period of less than 1 year, who have just come to our country to install machinery for the big firms. Now we make a distinction between domestic and national income. At the macro level, children, the concept of income is used both as a domestic concept and a national concept. When used as a domestic concept, we call it domestic income. And when used as a national concept, we call it national income. Both domestic and national income include the four basic elements of factor income, that is compensation of employees, rent, interest, and profit. But there is a difference. Now, what is the difference? Domestic income is generated within the domestic territory of a country, no matter who generates it, normal residents or non-residents. But national income is the income which is earned by the normal residents of a country, no matter where it is generated, within the domestic territory or outside. So national income is a much wider concept. Now, how do we convert domestic income into national income? Now, when we add net factor income from abroad to domestic income, it becomes national income. Now, what is net factor income from abroad? NFIA or net factor income from abroad is equal to factor income earned by our residents from rest of the world minus the factor income which is earned by non-residents in our domestic territory. It actually means the difference between what we receive. What we receive means what our residents receive from rest of the world, and what we give out. We means what the Indians are giving to the non-residents in our domestic territory. Now, to convert national income into domestic income, the following equation is used. National income minus NFIA, which is equal to domestic income. Now, to draw a comparison between domestic income and national income, they both use the four basic elements of factor income, that is compensation of employees, rent, interest, and profit. But domestic income does not include net factor income from abroad, but national income includes net factor income from abroad.